Great to have with us today, Michaela Brown of the Browns. Michaela, how are you?
Just great. Thanks so much for having me.
It is great having you. The Browns, in looking at your website, I have decided that music is not just a ministry and let's go out on weekends or during the week and sing. Music is a way of life for the Browns, is it not?
Absolutely. It has been for a long time, but even more so in the past few years as we've expanded businesses. And of course, it's always a ministry and something we love to do. But yeah, it's special as a family as well. So it's just great fun.
Take us back to the beginning where the music started for the Browns. How did it all begin?
Well, actually, 2020 is the Browns' 20th year. It's our 20th anniversary. So, yeah, we've been doing it since we were very young. But it started, mom has always loved music and it's been a part of her life. And so she was with a ladies trio before we started singing, and they kind of were coming to an end. And there was a few dates that they still had to finish up. And some of the ladies couldn't do it. And so mom said, hey, my kids can sing. And we said, we know all the songs. And so that was the beginning. We filled in a couple and then someone else has to sing and then someone else. And yeah, we never set out to do it. But, here we are today, 20 years later.
Well, which came first then, the music from the standpoint of singing vocally or the instrumentation? Because I know you each play instruments. So were you already learning to play those instruments before the music or vice versa?
Um, that's a good question. We started, I have an older sister who doesn't sing with us anymore, but we started piano lessons pretty young. Obviously, we were always singers, and mom would, have us sing, and we were in youth choir in that. But the piano lessons came young, and then we started violin when Andrew, the youngest, who is now 24, he was just a baby when we included the violin lessons as well. So and then when we started singing, it was kind of like a kids choir, and we just sang, we sang our little songs. And then it was my grandma who said, hey, you need to put those fiddles on stage. And so at the time it was just me. And so I played a little ditty on my violin. And then later, the boys started as well. So
Well, I've got to ask you then, a violin player, because I've always wondered this. What turns a violin into a fiddle?
that's a good question. One asked a lot, but it's honestly just the way you play it.
Now, did you learn on what style of music, violin wise? Because I picture the lessons being more classical music than any other style.
Correct. Yes, we started the Suzuki method, which is a classical violin method, and so we took for many, many years. But then she would always, she was very good at being able to incorporate some fiddle books and fiddle music. So she did appreciate all styles of music. So
Which do you prefer to play now? I mean, is it the classic style? Is it what exactly do you prefer? If you had to pick just one style to play, which style would it be?
Oh, I don't know if I've ever been asked that. That's so hard. Um, let's see. I still love the classical. I'm not gonna lie. I play a lot of weddings and stuff like that, and it is fun to break out that stuff. Obviously, it's not what I play a lot. I probably the second then would be the Celtic fiddle. The Irish
Hmm.
feel. I love that. That's just fun music. And then the fiddle. Maybe because I grew up classical and in Iowa, but the fiddle, it's like, yeah, it takes me, a little while to get into it. So to
Do
feel it,
you,
yeah, feel it.
yeah, as part of a concert where the Browns are concerned, do you do some classical trio violin instrumentation, or is that part of the mix?
Yes, yep, there is some mix. So there's a couple we like putting them with him. So we have some classical pieces that we will incorporate with a hymn, so it's more recognizable. But yeah, so you will hear a little bit of all varieties in our shows. So
Obviously I've got to hear the Browns live now because I love that, and two, I love the aspect of live music, and I have nothing against the accompaniment tracks, and I understand the assist aspect, but I still like to see those musicians on the stage, and of course you've got a lot of musicians on the stage with the Browns.
yes, yeah, we do. Yeah, it is kind of special to just pick up that instrument and take a break from the vocal and all that. So yeah, it is neat. I agree with you.
The other thing that was interesting to me in going to the website was that there is information there that you typically don't see where a gospel group is concerned. And specifically, I was talking about one, the theater that you own and host events, and then two, some of the entertainment, I guess, that comes into the theater. There's cooking, which obviously you have an interest in as well. So tell us about the theater and how that came to be.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. I'm in our theater upstairs. We have our offices, and so the theater came about in 2015, and actually it goes back even further. That same grandma who got us to play the fiddles on stage lived near Branson, Missouri, and so she loved going to Branson and all those shows. And she always said, "You guys got to get to Branson. You got to get to Branson." So um, well, when I was senior in high school, so I'm not telling you how long ago that was, a while ago. We did do a show in Branson with Gary McSpadden, who just went home to be with the Lord. And so he was
Hmm.
such a big influence in our lives and actually what we are doing right now. So him and Carol both, they took us under their wing and we learned so much with that Christmas show that we did in Branson. And so we always, it was kind of a dream in the back of our heads to, have a theater someday and be able to do it in that area. And then in 2015, one of my brothers got married, and so that changes things a little bit. And
Hmm.
we thought, well, maybe we want to stay home more. And Lamar's, Iowa, is actually the ice cream capital of the world, home of Wells Blue Bunny ice cream. And so we have a lot of tourists that come to town, and so we thought, hey, let's open up a theater. I thought I turned my notifications off. I'm sorry.
That is quite all right.
Oh, shut up.
We live in a technological age, so we
I
expect those
know.
kind of sounds.
I thought I turned them off. Okay, now they're off. Anyway, so we opened up the theater in 2015. We bought an old bank building and it's beautiful, historic. We turned it into a state-of-the-art music theater. And so we do, a variety of shows throughout the year. We do a Celtic show. Christmas is our huge season. We do a patriotic show, which that is going to be our first show back after COVID here. And yeah, it's been really neat to have people come in, and we have a gift shop. We have an event center where we serve meals for a dinner theater experience. And we opened up an inn last year, so be a boutique hotel last year. So yeah, it's just been really neat to kind of expand in that way, as well as going out and traveling.
And I think it's interesting too that you've got a cooking show that is coming, and apparently cooking it plays a role in the things that the Browns enjoy doing. So, when you opened the theater originally, was the intent to make it more varied entertainment wise, or initially was it music that you focused on?
Yeah, so it was obviously very music driven, and we have our variety of shows, and then we knew we wanted to bring in, gospel music. So we brought in a lot of wonderful Southern gospel groups, as well as branching out a little, like with Emmett Cahill with Celtic Thunder, the tenor, so good family entertainment. We also started writing, in collaboration with some great writers, doing our own musicals. So, from a Christian perspective, or just a wholesome family perspective, writing our own musicals that we've been doing as well. So, just really expanding kind of how the Lord leads, and how, we feel that people, want some good, clean entertainment.
Hmm.
And then we can always have that positive message, in with, the gospel. So that's really where our heart is. And we've really been excited to see that happen. The cooking thing, that has been something that I've loved. I've wrote the cooking article for the love of cooking in the Singing News for close to 7 or 8 years now. And I have two cookbooks. I am finishing up my third cookbook. I took good use of COVID and sat and finished that up. So, I've always loved cooking as well, have done some cooking shows for different buses that have come in, or tourists that have come in at our theater. We've had different locations that we've kind of moved around. But we bought the building, another building next door to our event center. And so that is going to be an official, like a cooking stage, where we'll have a unique setup with a kitchen. And so we can do a variety of cooking shows, demonstrations. West Hampton is actually coming in July, And so he will be doing a cooking show as well. So, that's the kind of the fun things that when you just keep trying new things, just the doors to start opening, and we just walk through them.
Well, it is very interesting. And where the dramas are concerned, the music is concerned, the musicals, do you act in these musicals as well, write them as well? I know you do some of the music, so do you do the other aspects of that as well?
So the first one we did was called The Innkeeper's Wife, and our producer is Wayne Haun. And then we also write a lot with Joel Lindsay and Jeff Baumgartner. And so they write a lot of musicals for churches. If you're in that industry, you will recognize those names. And so the idea was, to put this musical together. So we collaborated. They did most of the writing and music writing as well. But I was the only one who acted in it and wasn't originally going to, because I was like, I don't know if I'm an actress, but it actually turned out, it turned out really well. And then we have other actors from around the area, some great vocalists and whatnot. So we did the Christmas musical, and then we did a summer musical last year as well. So kind of around our city sesquicentennial. It was very American, small town musical. So, and I acted in that one as well. So so we have another great idea for the Christmas season, although I can't mention it yet. But so we love doing those. It's really neat. Adds, again, just more variety.
Where the acting is concerned, is that something you would like to do more of?
Um, I mean, it's a possibility. I just still love music so much, and the violin and making it and singing with the family. Acting is a little different. I like the singing, the musical part of it the best anyway. So, but yeah, I really enjoy it. It stretches you. I'm, a lifelong learner. I love learning. So, I love trying new things. So that's definitely been a stretch there in that area.
The Browns have done some international travel as well, Norway, Sweden. I know you've done tours in Canada too. What is the reception to Southern gospel or the Browns gospel in those other countries?
Well, I tell you, they love the live instruments. So they love the fiddles. And I think it is neat for, we have heard that people love to see the family unit, as a
Hmm.
family. So I think that's encouraging as we go out. But especially, the live music, I would say the violin is what they love. Actually, one song off our newest album, we got the idea from when we were over in Norway and Sweden. So it's neat to see, the influences of both when you do branch out and travel, how much it opens your eyes, your perspective. You see different cultures, learn different music styles. So yeah, that's really neat. I love the international aspect of it.
Give us a little more insight into the song that was influenced by the travel, though. What is the song, and how was it influenced?
Okay, so well, probably most of your listeners, they know of Andre Crouch.
Hmm.
Um, Wonderful singer songwriter in the past, but at least for my generation, and we're not very familiar with his music. We went over to Norway and Sweden, and wow, they love Andre Crouch music. And so we did a lot of we sang at some festivals, or there's ensembles where a lot of the artists sang together, and they did lots of Andre Crouch. And this particular song was Take Me Back, and take me back to the place where I believed,
Hmm.
where we came to see the Lord. So that's been really neat. And I think it's a kind of, it's going to be a good message for this day and age. I think we just get so focused on the future, but it's like, hey, let's go back to the fundamentals. Let's go back to our beginning, when we first found the Lord, how we felt, how, he changed our lives. And so it's always going to have a special place in our heart, probably from where we heard it and fell in love with it, to the message.
Who decides what songs you sing?
Oh, we arm wrestle. No, I'm kidding. I would not lose or not win ever if that was the case. I have two brothers, but I mean, we like the same style. So, if someone likes a song, we're very, open to, listening to it. And we're also very opinionated too. So if we don't like something, we try to be in agreement, because we are a group, we're a team. We really like to be in unity as far as the music and the message that we share. Also, Wayne Haun is our producer, so he brings some songs to the table, and he is just a genius. So if he says, "Hey, you need to do the song," we'll pretty much do it. So.
How do you work through? I mean, everybody's got it. Most of us don't want to own up to it, but when you've got varying opinions and strong wills, there are some, I don't, conflict may sound like too harsh of a word, but there are going to be disagreements. So how do you iron through those?
Well, we're family. And we not only do music together, we farm together and have our whole lives. We do business together, ministry together. So, I mean, we are each other's best friends. So we are very good at having the conflict, those intense moments. And 30 seconds later, we're just done with it. It's, hey, where are we going for lunch? So yeah, there's grudges don't stick around very long. And sometimes you have to hash it out. You have to have your opinions, to share your opinions. People need to be heard. And then try to diffuse the situation and just move on. So we usually come to a pretty good agreement. That or what mom says goes.
There you have it. That's it, right? What mom says goes. Before I let you go, the expansion of the ministry by the Browns, I mean, obviously it has expanded into areas that many do not travel. Where do you see the Browns in 5 years, 10 years, or where would you like to see them in that time span?
Well, I believe, that with obviously it was a big investment, opening a theater and all of the other businesses that we have in Lamar's. And it is neat to be in a small community where people can come to see you. We give them a great experience, with the ice cream parlor here. So I see this growing, and even if the Browns just do a certain amount of shows, with the musicals, we have the ability to, bring in musicals, write our own, bring in guest musicians. So I definitely see that expanding as being just a kind of a neat Americana small town
Hmm.
experience right here. But then I still love traveling and making music. So, then we're just able to be a little bit more varied on where we go and just more specific. And so, yeah, I don't see us slowing down anytime soon. And, if you would have asked us, we'd be here 20 years ago, we would say no. But, mom has always said, and I love this saying, she's always said, don't seek out after ministry, but prepare for one. And when you're ready, the Lord will open those doors. And so that's what we're doing. We're just taking it one step at a time. We're preparing, practicing, writing, all of those things. And when the Lord opens doors, we'll step through them. And we're pretty risky, so we're pretty crazy. Yeah.
Where our viewers are concerned, where our listeners are concerned, or even travelers who want to go to a vacation spot, where do they find out more information on Brown's music and the Brown Century Theater and Lamar's, Iowa?
Yeah, so you can find the info at both of our sites. I'll just give you one for simplicity's sake, thebrownsmusic.com, and across all social platforms you will find us, and then there will be links to the theater and all of the other things in Lamar's to take in. So, but yeah, thebrownsmusic.com will get you where you need to go.
Michaela, great to have you with us. I am looking forward to seeing the Browns in person so I can hear that classical violin.
Yeah, there you go. You need to come a trip to Iowa if you haven't been.
And get some ice cream
We'll
and
roll
listen to
out the
some
red
great music. That's
carpet.
right. Well, Michaela, great to have you with us today. Thanks so much for sharing.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.